Rob, what did you learn about the history of multicultural America this quarter?
All right. So the history that I learned in this class had a lot to do. That was reasoning of why the different immigrants came over to America, why they did, and why they ended up staying. All the history classes that I, grew up going to, all we ever talked about was the white history, the Mayflower, and basically how it, came to us, and never really learned anything about the Japanese or the other cultures, Chinese and Hispanics and stuff coming over. So for me, I thought was really interesting. I really enjoyed that part of it. And I also thought it was interesting that throughout history, all this stuff that happened before, it seems that we're still doing now. It's the same shit, it's just different faces. And to me, that just blows my mind that we're still arguing over the same stupid stuff.
And why do you think there are so many social divisions in multicultural America?
Well, so prior to 9 weeks ago, my answer would have been that people are really bored and have nothing else to do than bitch and moan. However, now I'm a little more enlightened. I really understand more that there's actually like different class and race and there's so much shit going on, between people that it's actually a viable thing now. People get upset, over just kind of how unfair some people are treated versus other people. I've never realized it because, just to be honest, I'm kind of in the white majority, and I've had a pretty easy life, all things considering. I still work, I still, bust my ass, but, it's really interesting finding that as hard as I thought that worked, I had it easier than a lot of people. And so for this class, that was probably one of the more interesting things that I learned.
And what advice do you have for future Humanities 121 students?
Go away. Don't do this. Really open mind. That's been the hardest thing for me in this class, is really opening my mind and actually listening. Really gotta leave your preconceptions and your prejudice at the door. And don't get defensive on stuff, because that's another thing that my initial response is, not me, but over time I'm kind of realizing, well, maybe that is me. And that's probably, I think, the best advice you can get.
Thanks, Rob.